I mean, I'm hearing a lot of different and very important things coming out of individuals. The one point that really stands out for me, because the Literacy Roundtable represents education in the downtown east side. And when we speak about literacy, we speak about access. So it's not just reading and writing. It's knowing how to deal with these issues, human rights issues, legal issues, and certainly access to education. And one of the points that was made earlier in this group were the funding cuts, particularly in recent months, for legal assistance, but particularly for adult basic education. That's what we're facing. And Laura is a good example of that, because she represents the Downtown Eastside Education Center, which is a really important education center for many of us on the Downtown East Side. And because of cuts at the provincial level, the school board, the Vancouver School Board, has decided that school will close effective at the end of the month. So it's just an example. So funding is integral to everything that we're all doing, because what we're doing now is scrambling to find new ways of meeting the needs of the same population, but their needs are being increased because of less access. So I think it's really important for me to carry that away. And I'm really encouraged to hear the great innovation and the programs that many of you are offering. And at the same time, I feel particularly challenged to hear, if I can use Ronnie's example, of they run a nighttime program. You can't access these kind of facilities at nighttime. That's just one example. And the other thing that I'm hearing consistently is the demand that's being placed on frontline organizations and frontline workers. You are now expected to be many things, including ostensibly civil servants. You have the same roles that in the past were played by agencies, and people were trained with skills to meet those needs. And somebody used the example of the forms, I think it was Amber, that they are being requested to fill out. People are not trained to do this work. We don't have access to do this kind of work. There are limits on the number of hours you can access a computer, for example. There's a time limit on the number of minutes you can use a telephone. And these things require much more training, much more skills, and that's part of what motivates us to bring these workshops together. And so, as a last question, I would ask you, if you have thoughts, is this a valuable use of your time to get together to discuss these various issues? Some of you participated in one of our recent workshops here, which was on digital technology and access on the Downtown East Side. And others of you participated in Adult Basic Education Forum, which we had a few months ago. Is this a useful tool, or are there other things that you would like to see that we could consider and try to find some funds for?
Do we get an evaluation form, or just stop?